Hello there. Today being Friday the 13th, I decided to rank all 12 of the Friday the 13th films, starting from worst to best. I have this collection from Scream Factory. It's wonderful packaging, absolutely beautiful. It costs you a couple hundred, and each movie comes packaged individually within. So let's get started. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. This is our number 12 entry, bottom of the list. Really, really not great. The positives I'll say here, amazing opening. One of my absolute favorites. It really has a rug pull there, and that's favorite kill is the opening kill of Jason. And then he goes to hell. And then it turns out that Jason is evil because of a demonic evil worm that can affect other people, kind of infect them and turn them into a killing machine like Jason. So the movie becomes sort of like an imposter Among Us situation where people are trying to figure out who's infected, and then they, kill people, and it's this whole thing. But I will say another positive, there's a scene in a diner towards the end that is shot wonderfully. I think Spielberg, I believe this is true trivia, Spielberg's came on set that day and actually kind of shot that scene. So that's why that's so good.
Holy shit! Oh. Oh, shit! Get away from me, you fucking piece of shit!
But other than that, the characters aren't really fun, aren't really likable. There's one guy, but he doesn't make it very long.
I know who you are.
I'm gonna kill Jason Voorhees. I need you to help me.
It's just not great. Jason Takes Manhattan is number 11 on our list here. Not great. It's called Jason Takes Manhattan, but he doesn't really go to Manhattan until the last 20-ish minutes. Most of the time he's on a boat with a bunch of recent graduates, and they're going on a graduation cruise to Manhattan from Crystal Lake. Somehow a cruise ship is in the lake, and then he gets on because he's in the lake dead or something, and he comes back to life, gets on the cruise ship, and then the cruise ship travels out of a lake into the Atlantic Ocean up to Manhattan. I can't remember exactly where Crystal Lake is located, but it doesn't make any sense. Characters are really not memorable. The characters are really bad here. There's the main girl somehow has a connection to Jason. I think her little brother drowned, just like Jason did when he was a kid, and there's some sort of connection there. But like I said, not good. The highlight, though, is when he goes to Manhattan. It really does pick up steam, and it's really good there. Some really great kills, the best of which, my favorite kill, is the head punch. Like I said, it's not great. I don't enjoy most of it. Like I said, the Manhattan part's good. There's some good kills.
Please! Please! I'm begging you!
But no. So on the number 10 spot here is Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. So in Part 4, when they made it at the time, they thought that was going to be the end of the Jason arc as we knew it at the time. Of course, he comes back later. So the plot of this one is that Tommy Jarvis, a kid from the fourth movie, which we'll get to later, Scar from the previous movie's events. He goes to a camp for troubled youth, and there a kid gets murdered by another kid, and then it turns out, and then all the other kids start dying, by Jason, or so they think. And then it turns out that one of the ambulance drivers that comes to take the body away of the kid from the beginning is the kid's long lost father. So then he starts dressing up like Jason and killing the other kids out of revenge. It doesn't really make sense. Really bad twist ending. And in this one, I believe one of the one of like the main stunt people. So there's a lot less gore, a lot less blood in it. The kills are not great. The characters are not great. The more I talk about it, the more I actually think it might be below Jason Takes Manhattan, because Jason Takes Manhattan has some good kills. But this one is just, it's got some campiness that I think saves it. The best kill here is the flare mouth.
What are you doing, douchebag? Enough already, you could stop. Would you cut it out? Pete!
But there's really not much to say here. The more I talk about it, the less I like it. It might actually be the worst one, now that I think about it. So this is actually going back down to number 12. And our number 9 spot here is Friday the 13th, Part 3 3D. So when this was made in 1982, 3D had become a really big thing. And all of the kills in here are like 3D gimmicks, but I actually find them pretty fun. I liked a lot of them. There's an arrow in the eye.
What are you doing? Hey, now cut that out right now. That's not funny.
There's a guy doing handstands that gets split in half by Jason's machete.
I can't hear you.
There's another really good kill, I think a head pop. This one is important to the lore because this is the first one where Jason wears a hockey mask, which of course is the iconic iconography of Friday the 13th. So that's here. There's really that subplot with like some motorbike people that are like assholes that come to the farmhouse where this story takes place. Now the characters aren't really memorable. The motorcycle people kind of are. But a lot of the Friday the 13th movies do this where it introduces a group of people that are completely unrelated to the main plot for the most part, just so Jason can get some bodies. And that's what happens here. It's not very memorable. There's some good kills, but not great. Number 8, Jason X, also known as Jason Goes to Space. This one is pretty infamous. It's, he goes to space, so sort of the jumping the shark movie, even though they've jumped the shark probably about 15 times by this point. So positives here, some good kills when they get started. Ice Face is my favorite. But it takes way too long to get to the good stuff. There's a lot of like sci-fi lore build up, all this weird stuff. I don't really understand why they did it. There's David Cronenberg shows up at the beginning of the film for some reason.
His unique ability to regenerate lost and damaged tissue. I mean, it cries out for more research.
And you're willing to risk the deaths of innocent civilians if he escapes.
Yes. But I'm sure Sergeant Marcus and his men can handle the transfer just fine.
Once it gets started, it's really fun. The last act is really great. Jason's upgraded armor is really cool. I really love that. And it's Jason in space. So like, what can you get mad about? There's some weird sci-fi stuff that he gets kind of locked into and like some weird kills, but for the most part, a good time. I liked it. But for the number 7 spot here, we've got Friday the 13th, the 2009 remake. What I really like about this one, the pacing is really, really good. The characters are fun, and there's some good kills. The lake kills and the tomahawk throw are my favorites here. do enjoy it. It's a good time. It's got that 2009 ting to it. A lot of, good stereotypes in terms of characters. One thing I will note, Jason is very torturous in this one. His kills are a lot longer. They are more painful. He really draws it out. I think this is sort of a reflection of the horror movie making at the time, which was a lot of kind of torture porn. Think of Saw and Hostel and stuff like that. So that's a negative and a positive. You kind of get more bang for your buck for the kills, but they're a lot less pleasant and fun. So that, it's really really well made, and I'm disappointed that they didn't make more after this. This is the most recent one. So, and it's number 12. So if they did another one, it would be the 13th, Friday the 13th, which is an amazing opportunity, and I hope they will let me write and direct. So on our number 6 spot here, we've got Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. This is going to be a controversial placement, I think. This is much higher than I believe most people would put, but I do really, really enjoy this film. Why people, I think it's a love or hate. The main character is a girl with psychic powers, and at the beginning of the film, she accidentally kills her father with her psychic powers, kind of drowning him in the lake, which will come back later. And I really enjoy the character. I think she's interesting. How she interacts with the other characters is really fun. Some of the kills are pretty good. There's my favorite, and I would say one of the more iconic kills in the franchise shows up here, which is the sleeping bag kill. And it's just a fun time, a really good third act where Jason's chasing her and she's fighting him with her psychic powers. It's one of the only instances where a character is able to fight back against Jason effectively. The end, how she defeats Jason, is, believe it or not, resurrects her dead father from the lake, who comes up and drags Jason down to the bottom. And that's how that ends. She never shows up again. The It doesn't really make any sense, but I really, really enjoy it. I think it's some of the best filmmaking out of the franchise too. Just the character work is really great, and I love it. So for number 5 here, we've got Friday the 13th, the original. A lot has been said about this film. Obviously, set the groundwork for what's to come. Famous plot twist is not really Jason; it's Jason's mom. Favorite kills here, Kevin Bacon dying is really good. And then the beheading of Jason's mom is really fun. Pretty good movie. Lots of fun stuff here. You see a lot of off-screen deaths, which is a little iffy, just because of how they were trying to hide the identity of the killer for most of the movie. The third act's really good. The final girl is really fun. I really enjoy it. It's good to come back to, and I think the actress who plays Jason's mother is spectacular. I think she's probably the best acting in the entire franchise for the most part. So for our number 4 spot, we've got Friday the 13th Part 2. I think this just does everything the first movie did, way better. The opening scene's really cool. Jason is the killer here, and he's wearing kind of a bag over his head. The characters in this one are really fun. Best kill is the guy in the wheelchair, obviously. All the kills are like way better. The characters are better. The final act is really good. And I just think it's a better time at the movies. If you had to choose one or two, I would go with two. And there's a weird scene where a girl just kind of stands there and waits for Jason to kill her for a really long time. Stuff like that really makes me enjoy this film. So for number 3 is Freddy versus Jason. I don't know if this is gonna be a controversial pick or not. I really, really love this movie. I'm a big fan of Nightmare on Elm Street films. I'm sure I'll do a ranking for that at some other time. But I think this is a perfect lore mesh. Better than almost any other kind of crossover movie like Godzilla versus Kong. I think this is really, really great and meshes them together. The tone colliding works. I don't know how they did it. The characters are really fun. The kills are amazing in this. Favorite ones, the bed break. Then there's a scene where he just kind of turns the guy's head and kills him. And then he goes through the cornfield party and just murders a bunch of kids.
I only corn poke and you weren't invited. Son of a bitch. Yeah! Burn, motherfucker!
There are so many good scenes in this movie. The third act is great. All the fights between the two guys are awesome. Like I said, the lore is great. It's everything you can want for it. And the main girl is from Dawson's Creek, which is a favorite of mine. So you almost can't get better than this. So in our number 2 spot is Friday the 13th Final Chapter. As the title suggests, this is what they saw as the end of the Jason arc. They thought the franchise had run its course, and this was the final one. So in it, there's a kid named Tommy, played by Corey Feldman, who from The Goonies, and he's a famous singer now. And then like all of his neighbors are getting murdered by Jason. One of them being Crispin Glover from Back to the Future. His death is super good.
Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew?
There's some really good deaths in here. Someone gets shot in the dick with a harpoon. And then at the end, Corey Feldman's character kind of sort of becomes Jason, like the next iteration of Jason, and kills Jason. And that scene's really good. Thematically, it's probably the most rich of all of the Friday the 13ths, and it's super fun and has a good time. I would say this one's tied with Freddy vs. Jason. If I'm looking for a good time, I'm putting on Freddy vs. Jason. If I'm looking for a full meal, a 5-course cinematic experience, I'll put on the Final Chapter. And then if I want all of that in one, I'll put on our number 1 movie. Number 1 here is Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives. This movie starts out with Tommy, the character from 4 and 5. He believes Jason will come back from the dead and kill them all for some reason. So he goes to the graveyard, finds Jason's grave, stabs it with a metal rod to pierce the heart of Jason. The rod gets struck by lightning, resurrecting Jason. So then Jason goes on killing spree, and Tommy is on a mission to stop him. So there's some really, really good kills here. The hard punch at the beginning's great. The opening sequence, the whole thing is insane. And then there's a kill where he just bends someone back and kind of breaks their back. Which is awesome. The whole movie is like over the top and self-aware and kind of making jokes, and it's just a really fun time. But it's also a hero's journey of Tommy, kind of a redemption arc for him. He lost his mind in 4, that continued in 5, he even got crazier in 5, and he needs to put this trauma behind him. So that's what he does throughout the course of the movie, willing to even sacrifice himself at the end, just barely surviving to put Jason down for good. But as we know, Jason can't stay down. And I just really love this movie. I think it's a fun time. Brilliant filmmaking for the most part. Only negative, there is a subplot with like paintball people that Jason kills, and all those kills are really lame, and it kind of just drags a little bit. But everything else is like super, super cool. So those are my rankings Friday the 13th. That's what I say about that. And happy